Hello everyone, this is Feared Bliss. So after 26 years since the original Diablo 2 got released, 23 years since I started playing Diablo 2, which was in the first latter season of 1.10, we're finally on Linux. We're free from Microsoft, no more telemetry, no more spying, no more forced updates, no more forcing down, AI down your throat and all that type of stuff. We're done, we're on Linux. Hopefully one day we could be on FreeBSD as well. There's some technical limitations right now with like DVUI and a few other dependencies that's preventing that from happening. But I think FreeBSD support should be feasible given that Diablo 2 already works online on FreeBSD and all of the backend code in Cactus is written in Zig, and Zig already works in FreeBSD. So hopefully one day FreeBSD will also get Cactus, but for now it's just on Linux, which is good enough for us to get off from Windows. So let's begin. So you're going to want to go to the Cactus repository, which is codeberg.org/fearedbliss/cactus. There's an extensive amount of information that I've written here, so feel free to take some time and look through whatever interests you. But right here you can see that there's some screenshots. You can see this is the light mode design. There's dark mode as well. Here you can create shards, and I'll go through what that is in a second, modifying them. There's the settings page, the about page, and there's an example here as well. You can see the download link here. There's updating instructions. There's extensive description of what it is. I've tested on various different Linuxes here, whether it's like Fedora 44, which I'm currently on right now, Linux Mint 22.3, CachyOS, Ubuntu Pop, Nobara, MX. I'm going to be testing more as well, but it pretty much works. The only requirements you need, you need Linux, an x86 64 specifically. You need Wine. I've tested on Wine 9, 10, and 11. It's a really old game, so pretty much most wines should work. And of course, you're going to need a legal copy of Diablo 2 Original, not Resurrected. So yeah, just go over to Bliss's website, get the Diablo 2 Original files. It should come with the Diablo 2 1.14d files, and that should be fine. And then, there's an installation section here as well. Of course, in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to install it, but if you need installation instructions, they're all extensively written here. This project is made by humans for humans, so there's no AI allowed. Like any code contributed is going to be considered like hand-coded, and I'm going to be judging it as such, but I'm also not really looking for contributions, so just enjoy the game, basically. If you want to donate, you can click the donate button either at the top of this link, or you can click the donate button inside of the application. There's build requirements here, and there's frequently asked questions. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and download the bundle, right? So you can click download Cactus Primary Mirror. If that one doesn't work, you can click Secondary Mirror. The nice thing about downloading the bundle is that the bundle comes with all of the Worldstones. The Worldstones are basically all the files that you need for that specific version of the game. So we'll show you an example here. Once you extract all of this, there's going to be this like common directory, and then there's going to be this core. So in this core directory, you're going to be placing all of your MPQs. That's pretty much all you need. There's 10 MPQs specifically. I believe there's 6 of them for the classic version of the game and 4 for the expansion. Those are literally all the files you need. Once you buy the game from Blizzard and you extract the files from there, which I'm not going to be showing in this video, try to install it through either Wine or something like that. Try to get the files out of the installer. Once you have the MPQs, you're going to copy them in here, and that's pretty much it. Of course, besides installing Wine. But in this directory, the core folder is basically responsible for all the files you're going to be sharing across all of your shards. So like all the shards are essentially like isolated instances of the game. They have their own Wine prefix, their own saves directory, their own shards directory. So like everything's fully isolated with each other to the point where you can literally run multiple versions of the game and even mods at the same exact time. Literally, I can open up all like from 1.00 all the way to 1.13d, all of them on one screen, even with mods as well, because they're fully isolated. So I guess your hardware would be the only limitation. I'm not supporting 1.14d. 1.14d has extensive changes where they remove the direct draw support, which is important for me. And they've also basically merged all the DLLs into a single game.exe, which is also important for me to make sure that people have a streamlined experience when they're installing this, because I can ensure that like all the files are are there, and everything's going to behave exactly as expected. So yeah, this is the core directory. You're going to be placing your MPQs in here. Also the D-Sound or like D-Sol, D-Sound stuff for the 3D sounders here is basically these two DLLs, and the direct draw or like CNC D-Draw binary, the DLL, the configuration file is all in here. So we're going to be tweaking this in a little bit to adjust like the resolution. This is a 4K display, 32 inches. So, you know, if you open the game at 800 by 600, it's going to be really small. So we'll go ahead and we'll play with some configuration options in a little bit. The Worldstones are in here. This contains all the Worldstones for every single version, including the betas. So like if you click 1.00, you'll see all the DLLs here and like the patch D2 MPQ for 1.00 specifically. And the same thing repeats. You know, 1.05b has its own DLLs and MPQ file. 1.07 has its own DLLs, right? 1.09b, 1.10, and blah blah blah, right? So on and so forth. So these are the Worldstones. Nothing gets modified in this directory. We're basically going to be creating symbolic links in an elegant fashion into the shards, basically. And then that's how we're going to be able to reuse all of these files without consuming a lot of disk space. So you can have thousands of shards for just like a few megabytes, essentially. So besides that, you obviously see like the README, which is pretty much what the repository has. The source directory has all the code in Zig as well. So if you do need to take a look at all of the code, it's all there. It's all open source under the 2BSD or the simplified BSD license. So this is permissively licensed. Do whatever you want. Just give me credit and don't say that you wrote it. Yeah, so that's all there. If you are interested in mods, you can click... it's all in Sunrise, basically. The only mods that come with my personal bundle is my own mods, specifically the Succulent mod. So if you click, you'll see the DLLs as the other Worldstones as well, and there's a README file in here. If you click that, you'll be able to take a look at that. If I open it in Ghostwriter, it'll look a little bit better. But yeah, you can see that every mod basically has, you know, the name, who made it, the build, a little bit of a screenshot. This is a little bit customized in mine, so you'll see there's like installation instructions and uninstallation. There's like features and all the type of stuff and screenshots at the bottom. If I were to look at another mod, so if we click the Project Sunrise link here, you'll basically see that, you know, this is the description. This is my personal tree. I've created a collection of Diablo 2 mods. I've tested all of these to work on Linux and Wine, and yeah, right, you can, there's 55 of them available that I've tested. But if you can click here, like back to Hellfire, right, same thing as the Succulent one, installation on installation. It tells you what is included in here, what known issues does it have, what are the porting fixes that I did to make it work, some references and screenshots of the mod specifically. And we'll take a look at another one. Right, like if I say like the Meeting XL 2012 V005, which is Brother Laz's last release, you can see it here. It's pretty much all the same thing, streamlined for all the mods. But let's go back in here, right? So we have these Worldstones, Succulent is one of them, and then we have the overlays. So for the overlay, singling is the only one, but these are basically designed to not be a full like Worldstone. It's more of like a user level customization that's applied on top of the Worldstones. So that allows you to basically experiment with modifying Worldstones without having to modify the original Worldstones files themselves, which is really good because you could easily uninstall by just removing the overlay. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of talking, there's a lot of, you know, introduction here, but let's begin, right? Let's go ahead and let's open up Cactus. When you click it, right, you can double click it, you'll open it up here, you'll get this box. So before we add anything in Cactus, let's go ahead and place our MPQ files in the directory that it's supposed to be in, right? So let's assume that I've already downloaded Diablo 2 1.14b and I've installed it. These are basically the files that you're going to have in there. We don't care about any files other than the MPQs. So literally I can just, you know, sort this, select all the MPQs. We don't need the patch D2 MPQ, so just uncheck that one. Go ahead and copy those files. Go back to your directory, which, where was it that I downloaded here? Downloads Cactus, and then go to Common, Core, and paste them in here. That's pretty much all you need in terms of getting Cactus ready to go. So once we're in here, we can say create, right? There's these options here, right? Create, modify, clone, destroy, up, down, reset, settings, backup, summon, about, and donate, right? So if I click create, you're gonna get this window. We're gonna wanna put the Worldstone name in here. The Worldstone name needs to match the Worldstone name that's in the common directory. So if I go to common Worldstones, right, it's one of these here. So let's go ahead and I say I wanna play 1.05b, right? So we're gonna go ahead 1.05b. You can press tab for keyboard navigation, that all works. The shard name, every shard needs to have a name. That's how you basically isolate like all your characters and all these like files from each other. So here I'm just gonna name it, you know, like ladder 1 or something like that, right? So as you can see here, the launcher, it says game.exe and it's kind of like in gray. That's the default that's gonna be used if you don't modify it. Most of the time you're gonna be using the game.exe, so you could just probably press enter at this stage and it'll automatically create it. If you do have like another third-party binary like pluggy.exe or alpaca.exe or some other type of thing, you can just use it here to override that. There's the flags option as well, so like window mode, like no sound, stuff like that. Do not use window mode because CNC draw is already active, so you don't need to do that, and window mode will actually conflict with CNC draw and it'll take over the video system, which is, we don't want that. And no sound is useful though, because when you're muling, you're probably going to want to open up multiple characters on the same shard, but you don't want to have like 5 different like Diablo 2 instances all playing sound at the same time. You probably only want one, and then the rest don't have sound, so we'll use that setup for that. And here you can have some notes, right? So you can say, oh, this is going to be like an Iron Man run and on hardcore or something like that, right? This is just personal notes. It doesn't really influence anything. So let's go ahead and click create. Cactus will automatically verify that all the files that you need for this shard to exist, and it'll tell you a message if it doesn't. Once that's all done, this is basically all installed. So like if we go ahead and look at the Cactus directory and click shards, you'll see there's a 1.05b folder with the word ladder 1, and all the files are in here, and you can see that all of them are symbolic links basically. So we're very efficient with disk space. If we click prefixes, you'll see that there's a 1.05b ladder 1 prefix, and there's all the stuff is in there. The save path is already set up properly, and a bunch of other types of things. And also, by the way, if you did want to move Cactus over to a new computer, you can do that. All the save paths will be automatically corrected as you move. So it's literally a copy the folder, move it to the other side, install wine, and you're basically done type of thing. And then here in the saves directory, you'll see that there's 1.5b ladder 1. We'll leave that there on the side for now. Let's go ahead and click Cactus. We'll go ahead and click it. Oh, hold on. I have my second monitor open, and then that just... Let me close my second monitor. Let's see if this still looks fine. My monitor is refreshing. Okay, looks like we're good. Okay, so let's go ahead and try to do this. And by the way, this is on Fedora 44, GNOME 50 on Wayland. So if I click settings, you'll see that the use wine Wayland drive is already activated. There's automatic detection, so if you're on X11, it will automatically adjust appropriately. But you might need to, play with it as well. Let's go ahead and try to open this up again. So by default, it's going to open up in full screen. Now on wine, it looks weird basically. So I think there's going to need to be. That's going to need to be improved over time with wine, but you can play around with it. So one thing you can do is you can press Alt-Enter, which will bring you to window mode. So let's try that again. Right, so you can see there that looks fine. Another thing you can do is you can go to settings and unselect use wine Wayland driver. That's going to make it go into X Wayland essentially. But then it usually looks kind of on the smaller side. Yeah, so that one basically works on full screen if you kind of disable the Wayland driver. This is just on Fedora 44, and some other distros, but you're gonna have to play with it to see what's the best situation for you. Usually what I do, because I'm playing on such a big like resolution and stuff, is usually I'll adjust the video settings for myself. But I usually play in window mode anyway, so I usually go to the ddraw.ini, and then I basically set I set the window to true, full screen to false, And then I usually have to set the width to something that's a little bit bigger. This is just the size of the window itself, not the internal game resolution. Because 800 by 600 is too small on a 4K monitor, right? So we can try 1024 by 768. And we can try again. And actually, let me add no sound because I want to still speak while I'm recording. Yeah. So as you can see here, Diablo 2 is open. I can click single player. Let's go back to my saves directory so you can see it here. And then I want to say barbarian, right? There you can see the barbarian got properly isolated. You're going to end up with just the default installation screen. We have the help button on the side. We have the mini panel, which you can close. You have the run button because normally it's walking by default. So you can run, and then, yeah, you know, there we go. Like Diablo 2 is working. We're on 1.05b. You can see here there's no synergies. Yeah, we're good. Now let's say that we create another version, right? Let's go ahead and create a 1.09b version. We'll name it core, and yeah, we'll just leave that. We'll go ahead and do its thing. You can see that from the shards, you have another shard here with core. Let's go ahead and open up the 1.09b as well. And you can see that, there we go again, we have 1.09b, right? I'll go ahead and I'll put no sound as well. I'm going to open up a few of them. And then I want to open up, yeah, let's open up both of them at the same time, right? Because it's fully isolated, so there should be no issues. Right, we got 1.05b there, 1.09b. And there we go, we have 1.9b and 1.5b at the same time. Now, you're probably not going to want to do a TCP/IP game, host on one version and then join on another. You're probably not going to want to do that. But you could join them in single player by yourself, right? So you can literally have both of them at the same time, which is pretty cool. Yeah, so I mean, as I said, I mean, that's pretty much it, right? There's you can clone some stuff if you want to have multiple. So usually I'll do that. I'll usually have I'll usually have one of them that's in and with no sound and one of them with sound, so that way I can mule, right? So if I do something like open up the first game.
Good day.
So yeah, normally you can only open up one instance of the game. So for this, you're going to want to install singling, which is a perfect segue into that. So what we're going to do is singling allows you to have multiple instances and a few other types of improvements that don't affect the gameplay. Or at least that's the goal. So in there, we're going to want to go to Sunrise, Overlay, Singling. We're going to want to copy the overlays for the versions we're interested in. So in this case, I'll just copy all of them. And then I will go to the common directory, overlays, and I'll paste them in there. So once you do that, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to reset the particular shard that you're interested in, because since you just applied an overlay, the symlinks need to be relinked so that the overlays link to the proper overlay files, right? So we're going to just go ahead and click reset. That'll go ahead and reinstall the whole the whole shard. Your saves are not affected. Your saves are always protected. There's nothing that ever deletes save files. So you can always use this as literally a fresh reinstallation of the game easily without affecting the saves. So now that we're there, singling is active, so I should be able to open up as many Diablo 2 windows that I want, and I should be able to join LAN games faster, and I should even be able to create hardcore characters without having to beat the game. So let's go ahead and open up one host client and one, I guess, client. Okay. Turn the sound off from there, and then we're going to go ahead and open up a second one. And there you can see, right? So now we have two Diablo 2 windows open. Let's go ahead and host one TCP/IP game with this person here. Let's go to the other one, and I'm going to make another character, join. You can do either localhost. You can do the IP that you see at the top, or you can do 127.0.0.1. Either way is fine. Yeah, and you can see there that now we're in the game. So when you're muling, you're going to want to leave with the clients first, so that the host doesn't kick all the clients off. Yeah, so then that's something there. Yeah, so we have that. Now, if you wanted to, every time that you finish playing a session, you'll have automatic backups created for you. So if I click backups and I click 1.09b core, you'll see that they're all timestamped here with like a Unix epoch, I believe. So in the future, I kind of want to make this a human readable name, but at the moment I don't want to pull another Zig library into my project, and at the moment I don't think Zig has a way to transform a timestamp into a human readable format natively from the standard library, so that's why they're kind of just in this like epoch type of thing. But either way, the important thing is they're always auto-incrementing. They're never going to conflict, and all your characters are perfectly saved in there. So as you can see from 8:30 today, I only have this character, but then I recently made the second character for the muling example, and you can see that the second one is there. If I open it again and then I close it, you'll see that there'll be another file created. And this only gets created when the last version, or when the last shard closes, right? So if I have 3 of them open and I close one of them, it's not going to create it. Sorry, so if I create 2 and then I close 1, there's no directory created here, but when I close this one, there will be another one created. So it's all good. If you don't like that feature and you want to turn it off, you can click settings, you can click enable automatic backups, or disable it, I guess, and you're fine. Yeah, so I'll give an example about the settings, I guess, right? There's this backup path here, so like if you, by default, it'll throw it into this backups folder that I just showed you, but if you do have like a backup folder that's going to like sync thing, or like some other type of synchronization thing, or maybe you have kind of like a USB, you can just put the path in here. You need to have rewrite and execute permissions for that, but if you have those 3, then it'll let you save your stuff in there. There's these wine DLL overrides, so this is already set up for you, but normally I'm using CNC DDraw and DSO with OpenAL soft for the sound and the video, so this is already active for you. You don't really have to worry about this. There's the use wine Wayland driver options. As I said earlier, you might want to play with that even if you're on Wayland, so you can get the best, full screen window mode situation for you. If you're seeing too many kind of like standard error messages from wine or whatever in the console, you can uncheck this, so it's just a little bit of a cleaner output, but this is useful obviously sometimes. If like you're like, oh, I clicked my shard, but like nothing's opening up, like what's going on, you might want to check that box. There's dark mode as well, so if I do that, then we have a nice dark mode situation going on here. And then there's these shard reset defaults. So this is so when we first opened up a fresh shard, we saw that there was a help button, there was the mini panel that was opened up, and then there was the run that was in walk mode. So this is really good obviously for a beginner, and those are basically, it seems to be the defaults from a fresh installation. So as a beginner, I didn't want to take that away from you because then it's a little bit confusing. But for a veteran, we don't really want to have that in there because we might be resetting the shards often for whatever reason, and I kind of just want to get back in the game and I don't want to have to like untoggle or check things or whatever. So you can just check these things and it'll just do it for you, right? So if I go ahead and I do an example, right? If I reset the shard, so we're gonna have this kind of like fresh install, right? So I should see the help button, I should see the walk thing, basically run is untoggled, and I should see the mini panel active when I do this, right? Yeah, so here we got help, mini panel's up, and we have the run, so that's disabled. So now if I say, okay, go to settings, enable running, hide mini panel, hide help menu button, then go ahead and reset that. On this fresh installation, it should basically be the way that I want it to be. And of course, this would happen for any new shard you create as well. So we open it up, everything should be good now. Single player. Yeah, and you can see everything is hidden and we can run immediately. If you want manual backups, you can click backup. Obviously, you can click summon here to open up the game through the UI. You can also press the enter key as well. So if I wanted to open up 2 instances of this game, I can actually press enter twice quickly enough, and hopefully that should help. Right, so we have 2 in there. So if you are going to be muling, you might want to be doing that. You can press up, down, and if I wanted to open up 8 of them, I can just spam it. Hopefully I can get a bunch of them. Right, let's see how many I can open up with that many keys. Well, that's only 2, but yeah, sometimes if you press it, you'll get a bunch. So you're gonna have to play with it. But this is just a hack. This is not really kind of like it's just a fun little thing that ends up being possible through kind of like keyboard shortcuts, I guess you can say. Yeah. So if you wanted to destroy a shard, you can do that as well. So if I have, let's say, my 1.05b shard here, I have my shards 1.05b, and I have the prefixes. If I click destroy on 1.05b, since this is the last one, it's going to go ahead and it's going to delete the shard directory, the prefix, but also it'll automatically delete the parent directory as well if it detects that there's no more 1.05b shards. So as you can see, the prefix doesn't have it anymore, and also the shards doesn't exist for 1.05b, but your saves are always saved, so we never touch these. Now if I close this and then you're like, oh, I wanna move Cactus to a different location, then yeah, you just take it and just put it in a different location and you're done. Everything will keep working, right? If I open up Cactus again, everything will be there. If I click 1.09b, I'm gonna have my characters there as well. I'll automatically adjust the save path locations in the wine prefix for you, so you don't have to worry about that. You could just, Cactus is fully relocatable. So let's go ahead and open this up. There we go. You can see the characters still exist. We can go back in the game and we're good. And we just moved everything. If we click at the backups set for the settings, you'll see that it's now the home John Cactus backups. Everything's adjusted properly. All your settings are there. And then I think the last thing I want to show you now, it would be some mods. So let's go ahead and download some of them, right? So once you go to the Project Sunrise repository, you're going to scroll through the mods, as I said earlier, pick the ones you want. So let's say I want to do Back to Hellfire. I want to do the Le Royaume des Ombres. So let's say the 5.03. I want to do a Brother Laz, and then I want to do a maybe I want to do a Zael, and let's throw in a Rain of Shadow. There's a lot of them, and Succulent is already in there, so maybe I won't do all of these. But let's go ahead and download some, right? Download Back to Hellfire. You can also download the hash as well if you want. It's right here. So if you want, you can right click, save link as. I mean, we're on Linux now, so I'm gonna expect that people, they know how to verify a hash, but I'll verify one for you just so you can see. Yeah, go ahead and I'll download this one. Go ahead and I'll download this one, and then yeah, Zael, Rain of Shadows. I'm gonna kind of quickly go through these mods. Succulent is already there, and then yeah, that's fine. Okay, cool. So for each of these mods, you're going to want to make sure that you check the known issues section. These don't have any. And then you're going to want to make sure that you follow the instructions in the installation. Most of them is just copying the files into the Worldstone and adding the game.exe, which is pretty much the default. But sometimes there are mods that have a direct or direct-txt flag, so you might want to put those in there as well. So let's go ahead and so go to my downloads section. Okay, so some of them are still downloading. Let me see, this one, a bunch of them failed. Let me see. Okay, let's go ahead and download that one. Okay, it might be a server type of thing. Download that there. This should be smaller, this Medium XL. Okay, we'll download that. And Rain of Shadows. Alright, cool. So let's go ahead and extract some of these. So back to Hellfire. So I said I wanted to verify the hash first, right? So we can open up the console, and then from there I can say SHA-512-SUM-Z, and then put the name of the file that has the hash. So in this case, I'm just gonna, I know it's only one text file, and you can see it says Back to Hellfire 102 Tarek Z. Okay, so that's pretty much it in terms of verifying. Let's go ahead and unpack that. Can pretty much just double click it. It'll automatically have a folder for you with the name. I'm gonna extract all of them. Okay, we're gonna extract that. While that's extracting, if I click the back to Hellfire, you'll see that it's literally like all the other ones. It has all the DLLs, but this is a mod, right? So we're using D2 mod. Any in this particular case, there's gonna be the README, which is a copy of pretty much what you find online. And then there's this miscellaneous folder here. So any other things that the original mod creator put, or if I needed to put something, I'll put it in there. So like, you know, back to Hellfire, kind of like the HTML file, like, you know, this is what Onyx put like back in the day, right? To help you out. So that's all there. And there's obviously some screenshots, which is a copy of what's in the repo, and some notes, right? So if if there were any patch notes or anything that I needed to put in here, I would put it in this notes.txt. So let's keep extracting. We have Zyl. We got the median Excel one and Le Royaume des Ombres. And of course Succulent as well. So while that's extracting, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to copy Succulent as well from the Sunrise folder. Sunrise Worldstone Succulent. Going to go back to common Worldstones. I'm going to paste my Worldstone in here. So now I have Succulent. I go in here. I'm going to copy all of these mods. And I'm going to bring them into the Worldstones as well. And then now that that's there, I'm going to just go ahead and I'm going to create a new Worldstone. I'm going to copy this name, put it in there. I'll call that core. From the instructions, I pretty much just need a game.exe, so I'll go ahead and I'll just press enter. It should just work for you because I've already packaged these and verified that they work, so it literally should just be this. Right, we have that. Put Le Royaume des Ombres. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Core. Let me just make sure that the Le Royaume des Ombres doesn't need direct.txt. Let me see, where is it? Yeah, this one's good. Yeah, I know Median Excel doesn't need it. Zyl doesn't need it. Yeah, okay, so it seems like none of them need direct.txt, so we're good on that. Go ahead and press enter. Go ahead and the next one, Zyl. Okay, we have Zyl. Go ahead and core. Do the Median Excel. And it's amazing that all of this is running on Linux. Literally download, put the MPQs in there, add your stuff, and just press go. That's the goal, basically. I don't want anybody to have to be struggling too much with this. Well, particularly myself, because I'm pretty much the primary user of Cactus, but I'm sharing my love with the world. Yeah, so we have those, and let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Was Reign of Shadows and Succulent. Those are the last two. Okay, and then last but not least, Succulent. Let's go. Let's go. All right, so let's see what we got over here. I might not be able to talk as much because I'm going to play the sound because some mods have different sounds, including Succulent. So let's go ahead and start with Succulent. Let's go. Let's go. And there we go, we're in Succulent.
Good day.
Now you're going to see here that because we have OpenAL and DSOL running, you're going to have 3D sound and environmental effects. So that's going to be one of the first things I recommend for everybody to enable as soon as they get into the game. This is not a Succulent specific thing. This applies to all of the Worldstones. So just click it, turn it on, and yeah, you're going to have 3D sound now. Obviously for Succulent, you can see that there's this little kind of XP bar situation going on here. We have increased stash. Yeah, there's a lot of nice tunings and adjustments. The Succulent is my personal mod. I basically got a lot of influence from like Diablo 2, like time traveling, like from 1.00 through 1.10, which was the last Blizzard North version, and also from Diablo 1 as well, and just a lot of other types of influence. I would categorize Succulent at this point. I've been working on it for many years. But I'll say Succulent is kind of like a fork of 1.07, 1.08 era of Diablo 2, like original expansion launch Diablo 2, on top of the 1.09b base. So definitely got the foundation of 1.09b, but I kind of went a little bit backwards in terms of the direction of the game. I really enjoyed the way that things were heading in the original LOD, like 1.07, 1.08. So all the 1.08 uniques are in here. The way the crafting works is more like 1.08 and a bunch of other things. So make sure to read the Succulent patch notes for more information about that. So now let's go to another mod. Let's go back to Hellfire. All right, we got back to Hellfire. Oh man, I'm scared already. Actually, let's talk to our favorite person here.
Favorite fellow drinking peace?
Well, what can I do for you?
Let's keep going. Yeah, let's get out of there before I die. Let's go to Le Royaume des Ombres, or the Realm of Shadows. Yeah. Let's go to Zael.
Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Evil beware.
Medium XL.
Let the storm follow in my wake.
Good day.
There's a place.
And then last but not least, Reign of Shadow.
Good day.
Good day.
Yeah, so as you can see, all the mods are working. I've already tested everything, already packaged it, documented it. You just need to download it and play. So like I said, like the only thing you need is a legal copy of Diablo 2 from Blizzard. Get those files out of there, drop the 10-minute PQs, and then you're off to the races. And of course, I said before that I can run all of these at the same time, right? So like let's try to do that then. Finish off the video with a bang. I'm going to turn off the sound for everything because I don't want the sound there. Okay, let's go ahead. Okay, we got one. I'm not going to run the second one because it's the same thing as the first one. I can actually remove this. Destroy that. You can't destroy something if it's active, by the way. You kind of there's a lot of protection in Cactus, and if something is not good, then that needs to be fixed. But I've done extensive testing, so you should be pretty safe. Yeah. So as you can see, we're running everything at the same time. And it's all on Linux. So no more Windows, we're done. We're done, man. We're done with Microsoft. At least for when it comes to Diablo 2. Maybe for other games we still need it, but when it comes to Diablo 2, we're free, everybody. We are free. So while all of this is running, if you want to join the community, make sure to check out the Moving Caravan. This is my Diablo 2 time traveling community. Me and Manny are both the admins for this. So definitely come on board. We got 103 members so far, 3,048 messages as of today, 404 threads. We're talking about everything that happened in Diablo 2 back in the year 2000, 2001, 2002, 2003, and then Blizzard leaves. But we have this beauty. So yeah, if there's any questions you have, post it on the forums. Have fun. Stay safe. Peace.